Hey puzzlers, this is Steve here with a long overdue video about my third published puzzle book on Amazon. Now, my first puzzle book was all about Sudoku variants, so if you're a big fan of Sudokus, I'd love it if you would check it out. I'll post a link in the description below, along with my last Logic Puzzles book that had 25 different variations, puzzles like Minesweeper, Battleship, and so forth. This is the exact same format, just with 25 new puzzles altogether. As you can see, this is the table of contents, 25 puzzles, which I'll quickly go over. I won't go into any long details about how to solve them, as I've probably already made videos on most of these. But first we have tents. With tents, what you're trying to do is you're trying to locate the tent that belongs to each tree, and the numbers along the outside of the grid help tell you how many tents are in that row or column. Then you have Slitherlink, which is a very popular loop-based puzzle where the numbers indicate how many line segments are adjacent to that clue. You have a sheep and wolves variant to Slitherlink, where it's essentially the same puzzle, but what you're doing is you're keeping the sheep, which is the dots here, inside the fence, and the X's or the wolves outside the fence. You have Yajalin, which is a loop-based puzzle. The numbers indicate how many line segments are being crossed in that direction. And you have Castle Walls, which is very similar to Yajalin, but the difference here is the white clues are kept inside the loop, and the black cells are kept outside the loop. So I guess maybe more like a sheep and wolves puzzle, but lots of fun. I think Castle Walls was actually probably one of my favorites in this book. You have Hitori, which is a very popular and common one. There's a lot of apps out there already with Hitori, but essentially no numbers can repeat in any row or column, and you have to shade those. The unshaded cells form a connected group as well, so that helps you solve the puzzle. The Shikaku is a region-based puzzle where the numbers indicate how big the region is that it forms. You have Galaxies. This one was really tough actually for me at first. What it is you're forming these regions that are rotationally symmetrical. So what you can do is you can rotate it 180 degrees and it's the exact same shape. And they all pivot around these dots or black holes, whatever you want to call them. And it's a lot of fun. Conceptus actually has a app based off this puzzle. It's called something slightly different, but it's the same rules. It's very enjoyable, but again, a little tough at first because it's a very unique puzzle. Skyscrapers, which if you've done Sudoku variants, you've probably come across a skyscraper Sudoku. Basically what you're doing is you're putting in numbers within the grid so they don't repeat along any row or column. And then the numbers along the outside indicate how many buildings are visible from that vantage point. And taller buildings or taller numbers, bigger numbers, block the buildings behind it. That's how that works. And then we have a variant on those rules where instead of saying the numbers along the outside are how many buildings you see, it's the sum total of the numbers that you see. So a little bit of math there. 4 Winds, lots of fun. This one, you're basically just drawing line segments out from the numbers to cover those amount of cells, and you have to cover every cell in the grid. A Renban, I actually think I liked Renban more than Sudoku. What you're doing here, every row, column, and region must have the digits not repeat, so you can't have repeating digits. But the difference here is the regions are going to form sequential numbers. So that's the quirk or the difference here from Sudoku. You're not going to have each region be the same size. So lots of fun. I would definitely check out Renban if you like Sudokus. Suguru number blocks. This honestly was probably the easiest puzzle in the book. I'm not going to spend much time on it. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I threw it in there. It needed 25 different variations, so I thought I'd throw in some new ones. Capetto, this is very similar to a Shikaku where you're forming regions and the numbers inside the region indicates the size of that region. But the difference here is you're not covering every cell in the grid. There's going to be some holes or gaps, and so that makes it a little bit trickier. If you like the Shikaku puzzles, you're going to obviously like this one as well. A Painteria. This one's really unique and different. I wasn't sure if I was a fan of it, but definitely different. If you're looking for something, if you're getting tired of kind of the same old, definitely give this one a shot. That's all I'll say. You could read the rules and check it out yourself. I do have a video on it. You can check out the playlist. A Chocona, or chocolate. I think that's chocolate in Spanish. But this one's a lot of fun. Basically, you're forming rectangular chocolate bars, if you will, and the numbers indicate, they're clues as to how many shaded cells there are. And yeah, I definitely like this one. This was up there, I would say, top 5 maybe in the book. Tile paint. This one, Conceptus, also has a very good app on. I think they call it Crossapix, but same concept. Basically, each region must be entirely shaded or unshaded, and the numbers along the outside of the grid indicate how many shaded cells there are in each row and column. So definitely lots of fun. If you like nonograms or Picross, you're going to like this one a lot. Kojun, another one kind of like number blocks, where I found it to be easy, one of the easier ones in the list. So if you like tough puzzles, you're probably not going to like this one. But this is a little bit different than the number blocks, because the larger numbers always have to be above the smaller numbers within the region. So you couldn't have, say, like a 3 beneath a 2, So that's the little switch there. A Country Road. This is a popular loop-based puzzle. Basically what you're doing is you're entering every region once, exiting it once, and the numbers indicate how many cells are being crossed within that region. So if you like loop-based puzzles, A Country Road is a must. Stars and Arrows. This one, basically, the numbers along the outside indicate how many stars are in that given row or column, and the arrows point exactly to 1 star and no more than 1 star. So definitely unique. It's a different one. Lots of fun. I did enjoy it. I would probably put it middle of the pack as far as my favorites. I think there was a lot better ones, but there's also a lot worse ones out there. Moon or Sun. This is another loop-based puzzle. If you like loop-based puzzles, you gotta love this one. Basically, you're gonna alternate between the dark circles and the light circles between every region. So if you cross a light circle in one region, you can't then the next region cross another light circle. And every region you have to cross all of the same type. So if there's multiple dark circles and you cross one, you have to cross then all of them. So again, very fun loop puzzle, a lot like A Country Road. And then there's Sun and Moon. This one, I will have to say, is probably the most unique one. Basically, what stars do is they light up the planets or the circles, and then there's star dust, or these moons that basically block the light. And so you can see some of the circles are fully illuminated, some of the circles are only partially illuminated. I like this one a lot. It was a lot of fun and very unique and very different. Then you have Nurikabe. I think I actually did put this one in my last puzzle book, so I suppose it's not 100% truthful to say it's 25 completely new puzzle types, but this is definitely one of my favorite puzzles, so I had to throw it in there. I think I had an odd number of puzzles, so there you go. I think that is it. Oh, apologies, one more. You have an Nuraf puzzles. These were hard. Anytime you have a puzzle where the region sizes are unset, where basically you have to discover the regions and they can be of multiple sizes. So like here, what you're doing is your 2 numbers are going to be in every region, and the region size containing those 2 numbers can be any number between those 2. So if you have a 3 and a 10, the region can be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 cells big. So you have a lot of variability there. It's definitely tough. I would say this is one of the tougher ones in the book. And then a Nuraf is basically a combination of a Nurikabe puzzle and a Nuraf puzzle. So if you like both of those, you're obviously going to like the hybrid of the 2. and then that's it. And then you got yourself the answer sheet. So I had a lot of fun making these puzzles. Hopefully you guys have a lot of fun solving them. I do actually have a third one. Like I said, this was late. I published this over 2 months ago, I think, and so I do have another one out. I'll post a video about that one maybe in a week or so. So anyways, if you like what you see and you've enjoyed these puzzles, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. I hope you guys all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you later. Bye.